Welcome back to the Board Member Playbook, and let's face it, we've all been in those meetings that drag on endlessly, with everyone in the room just waiting to die a slow and painful death to avoid the next 20 minutes. Here's the deal. Meetings are meant to be efficient and productive, not an endless cycle of head bobs and what the hell are we even doing here moments. Proper presentation ensures we're not just showing up, but we're aligning all participants to the meeting objectives. If you want a meeting that makes an impact, it starts before anyone even steps into the room. Too often, meetings feel like a waste of time because no one knows what the hell they're supposed to be doing. Preparation is the magic ingredient. With a clear purpose, your meetings transform from chaotic to compelling. Setting an agenda is not just for keeping up appearances. It is the backbone of a productive meeting. Think of it as your meeting's GPS. Without it, you're just driving around aimlessly in circles, hoping you're going to find your way home. Clearly outlining topics ensures everyone knows what's on the table, and prioritizing means you tackle the big issues first. Do not let meetings turn into random brainstorming sessions. Give them structure. If you need some good agenda templates, let me know in the comments. I can certainly send them your way. Have you ever attended a meeting where you spent 45 minutes debating something trivial while the big issues are pushed aside? A well-crafted agenda puts the brakes on aimless discussions and aims you toward what really matters. Let's talk about distributing the materials in advance. Don't just make the meetings the first time people see important documents. It's like showing up for a test without even studying. Distributing relevant materials in advance allows participants to come prepared with insights and questions. Now, instead of wasting time flipping through the pages, you're going to dive right into the material. I've often heard from meetings, they start with everyone, please read page 1, which is code for, hey, let's waste the first 20 minutes of this meeting. Now, pre-read materials turn attendees into active contributors from the very beginning. Now, you have to ensure that participants are informed. We cannot expect meaningful input from people who are in the dark. It's crucial that every attendee understands their role. They have a clear context for each agenda item. That is the true difference between a room full of passive nodders and a team ready to dive into informed decisions. Do your meetings ever feel like a one-person show with everyone else there just along for the ride? That is the difference between informed participants and those who did not see the pre-reads beforehand. Give them context and watch them contribute. Now, the importance of a well-structured agenda. Think of your meeting like a recipe. Without a structured agenda, you're just throwing ingredients into a pot and praying for a quick death. A well-structured agenda guides the flow of the meeting, ensuring that all necessary topics are addressed in a logical order. It also helps participants come prepared, focusing on the key issues instead of derailing the conversation into 20-minute head nod sessions. You ever left a meeting feeling like nothing got accomplished because it was all over the place? This is why a structured agenda is your roadmap to success. It keeps the meeting on track and your team focused. As you dive into the meeting, effective time management. Time is the one thing that we can't get back, so you can't waste it in these meetings. Allocate specific time slots for each agenda item to keep the discussions on track. Prioritize the most critical topics first, and then use a timekeeper to ensure no one goes off on a tangent. A well-timed meeting is a productive meeting. An exercise that we actually use at my workplace is a random keyword that does not invoke anger, right? So say, for example, you don't want to tell anybody to shut the hell up, but instead we use something like window pane or licorice, right? That means that you can throw that word out there and the individual that's overrunning the meeting hears it, stops, acknowledges. How often do meetings run over, eating into time that could actually be spent on execution? A lot, right? Set the time limits, stick to them, then watch your meetings transform from endless head nods to actual efficiency. the importance of active engagement. If your board meetings feel more like a lecture than a conversation, we got a problem. Active engagement is crucial for fostering collaboration and making effective decisions. Engage members, contribute diverse perspectives, leading to a more comprehensive discussion and more solution. A board meeting should be a symphony, not a solo act. Does your board meetings ever feel like one person talking and everyone just nodding? Once again, when everyone is engaged, meetings become more dynamic and the decisions will be very well rounded. Now, strategies for encouraging that. Facilitate the open dialogue by encouraging questions and feedback. Use the tools that are given to keep members involved and assign roles or tasks to ensure every member has a voice. Engaging isn't just about talking. It's about listening. It's about responding. Creative, collaborative environments where everyone feels like their input matters. If you've got a member where there's always a dominant voice, you encourage open dialogue, you assign roles to ensure that there is a balanced discussion. Make sure everyone is a player and not just a spectator, right? You also need to make sure that you're aligning with the long-term goals. Board meetings should be about steering the ship, not managing the sails. Focus on strategic issues that really focus on the operational details, right? The alignment ensures that the board's efforts are really in support of the organization's long-term objectives, right? Guiding the organization through complex challenges and seizing those growth opportunities. If your board is caught up in the weeds, right, discussing the minutia instead of the big picture, shift the focus to strategy. Navigate the course, just do not react to the currents, right? And you're going to see the benefits of those strategic focus areas, right? By concentrating on the strategic priorities, the board can allocate resources more efficiently, directing attention to the areas that drive competitive advantage and sustainable success. A strategic focus fosters a forward-thinking mindset, enabling the board to anticipate industry trends and adapt to market conditions. And to be honest with you, you go into these meetings and honestly walk out to say, what just happened instead of what is next. Strategic focus hones in on that. Your board's going to be walking out thinking, what's next, right? Thinking ahead. Be proactive, not just reactive. After you get through, right? After you get through with these great meetings, distribute the minutes. Meetings are only as good as the follow-ups that come after. This is often overlooked. Distribute minutes promptly, highlighting the key decisions, action items, and deadlines. It isn't just paperwork. It's not just something that we can refer back to on the next meeting. It's about ensuring everyone is on the same page and ready to act. Now, I'll tell you this, if your meetings are forgotten the moment that they end, with action items lost in the ether, timely minutes turn those discussions into action. It's not just about momentum. It's not just about memory. It's about getting those execution points completed after the fact. Another big thing is tracking the action items. Assign responsibility for each action item. Don't just walk away with those action items on the minutes. Make absolutely sure specific individuals or committees are assigned to those action items. Set deadlines and establish a tracking system to monitor the progress. Accountability is not just about checking the boxes. It's about making sure that the meeting's impact extends beyond the boardroom and people are ready to execute when they come back. If you've ever had action items fall through the cracks with no one quite sure of who's doing what, assignment, tracking, following up. It's the difference between talking about success and actually achieving it, right? And then you've got to go back. You've got to go back and monitor the progress of these meetings. You've got to evaluate the meeting effectiveness. Get feedback from the participants on how the meeting structure is going, how the outcomes are actually being fulfilled. Identify areas of improvement and implement changes for the future meetings. Effective meetings are a continuous improvement process. Now, If your meetings are just repeating the same cycle over and over with no evolution, no improvement, you have to evaluate and evolve. Every single meeting should be better than the last. And I'll tell you, we've all been in those meetings that left us wondering what the hell we actually accomplished. It's time to break that cycle. Here's the truth. Transforming your board meetings isn't just about what you've learned. It's about how you apply it and how you adapt it to your own unique challenges, right? Give me an example. Maybe your biggest challenge is getting everyone to engage. Maybe it's keeping the meetings on track. Whatever it is, you're not alone. The boardroom is a battlefield of ideas, personalities, and priorities. So let's flip the script. Let's turn this into a two-way conversation, right? Here's some questions to get us started. What's the biggest challenge you face in your board meetings? Is it engagement? Is it structure? Share your struggles, because the first step to improvement is acknowledging where the pain points are. Now, question 2, which practice will you implement first to transform your meetings? Was it preparation we discussed? Was it time management? What is your commitment for the catalyst of change? Question 3, have you found a unique strategy that works best for your board? Share it with us. Let's create a community of insight where we can learn from each other, right? Drop your answers and questions, comments below. Your input could be the game changer for myself, someone else. Let's not just talk about board meetings. Let's revolutionize them together, right? So once again, I'll put it out there. Don't just be a spectator in this conversation. Engage with us. Hit the comment section. Make this a space where boardroom challenges turn into boardroom victories. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe for more tips, strategies, and real talk about what it takes to lead these meetings effectively.